Hey, sixth grade, I'm creating a video for you on brush handling skills. So basically, brush handling is going to be your warm-up for today, and it's all about knowing what type of paintbrush to use and also what size paintbrush to use. I do not want to poke you in the side every 5 seconds and make sure that you're using the right tool for the job. I want you all to do it on your own. So before we get started, there are different size paintbrushes. You can always tell the size of the paintbrush by the little tiny number that's right here. It's hard to see what this one is, but this says number 4. 4 is the smallest paintbrush that I have. I have ones that go every 2 numbers, so 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. 14 is my largest paintbrush. This one right here, it says 14 right here. This is my largest paintbrush. So I have a 4, which is the smallest, and I have 14, which is the largest. So knowing what size paintbrush to use is honestly half the battle. Large brush, large space, small brush, small space. Also, we talked a little bit about anatomy of a paintbrush. The hairdo, this yellow part right here, is really important. I either have flat top brushes where the hairdo is cut straight across the top like a little haircut from the 80s. This is a flat top brush. This is good at different things than the point brush. See how this guy's little hairdo comes to a point. Point brushes are great for small awkward spaces. So anytime you have a space that you cannot reach with the flat top, you're going to use this one. Also, flat tops are great for doing straight lines and angles. So anytime you encounter something that's a straight line or an angle, you're going to use Mr. Flat Top. Okay. Also, we talked a little bit about how to hold your paintbrush because a lot of you are not doing this for me. You don't hold your pencil by the eraser and expect to write. You just don't do it. You want control over your writing. So the closer that you hold it toward the tip of your pencil, it's the same deal with holding your paintbrush, okay? A lot of you are holding your paintbrush like this right here, which is toward the eraser of the pencil. It would be the equivalent of this. Don't do that. You do not have control over where your water goes. If you are holding your paintbrush like this, okay, it's the equivalent of doing this with your pencil. Don't do that. You don't have control over where stuff goes, okay? If you hold the paintbrush by these little metal notches right here, you're gonna have control over where your water goes, just like you have control over your writing when you hold your pencil like this. So if you're not a good artist, half the battle is holding your paintbrush correctly, okay? So make sure that you hold it by these little metal notches. Doesn't matter if it's point or flat. Okay, from here, here's what you're going to go ahead and do. I'm going to try and switch this around. Maybe not. And this is what your brush handling worksheet should look like. Okay, so just as a reminder, let's go ahead and fill in this shape right here. So you have a shape that is a rectangle. All right. I'm going to wet my paintbrush and using a flat that is an 8 flat, I'm going to go ahead and outline my shape. Note to self about this. This copy paper is not going to soak up the water, so do not freak out. But see how this flat top brush, very easily, just by holding it correctly right at the notches, just using that type of paintbrush, it automatically wants to paint in a straight line. Okay, so make sure you use this one because it wants to paint in a straight line automatically. You don't have to have any skills in order to do this. Second thing, you have your star shape, okay, which is this one right here. It kind of looks like your onomatopoeia shape from a comic book. So bam, wham, whack, whatever. For this one, for the points, I'm going to go ahead and use my point paintbrush. Okay, so this is a 4. And I'm going to first get in those really small, awkward little points, okay? So I'm going to do that first. And if I were to use my flat top, basically, kids try and use this on its side like this, you're still going to go outside of the lines by using it on its side, okay? So automatically, see how there I went outside the lines, okay? Be really conscious of using your point paintbrush for the points. Okay, I can't reach those awkward small spaces, so I'm going to use this paintbrush. To paint in the rest of it, I can upgrade to a flat top and go in one direction, that's fine, but for the points, small awkward spaces, you should be using your point paintbrush. Couple questions for kids. What do I do about the arrow shape right there? Okay. This has straight lines and angles. It also has small awkward spaces and places. So I'm going to have to use the point paintbrush for the small awkward places and spaces. Okay. And then I can upgrade to my flat top, which is going to want to paint a straight line automatically. So something that looks like this. Okay. So there you have it. Make sure you're using the right tool for the job. Okay. Points, small spaces and places, flat top. If you're a kid that has no skills, please hold your paintbrush right by the notches. Please use this for any sort of flat line. Okay. Any sort of straight line or angle. Okay. You're on your own. Good luck.